Got my eyes straight ahead, got my head in the game. With the red light on, I'm just waiting for the change. Keep my head down low.
Look, I'm really not sure what to make of this. Because, for one, I would have thought that a politician generally, a lot of them, it seems like they try to hide some of their actions and hide their true intentions. They'll go and say one thing, but they'll do something else, and then you're sitting there scratching your head, going, "Well, your mouth saying this, your action saying that. I think you might be a liar." It's really, I don't know whether it's disingenuous on Dan Andrews' part or not. The fact that he attends this meeting with what are they? Extremely unsavory characters, uh, leaders, world leaders, nation leaders who actually want to be the leaders of the world. Who, given the even the slight chance, could you tell me honestly that Putin wouldn't take over the whole world if he, was given just even a little chance, or she? Please, you tell me that if he couldn't say, "Yep, yep," there's a very strong possibility I could rule the whole world if I just go and do this, take this action, he wouldn't take it. I mean, my goodness, yes, he would be. And let's not forget, Little Miss North Korea. Crikey, if he could absolutely annihilate the Americans' White House, if he could rule the world, he would be in like Flynn. That lad would not hesitate. So you look back at Dan Andrews' history, and it makes sense. Everyone's sitting there going, remember the shenanigans with the what's that thing that they have, the Belt and Road initiative that the Chinese do, when they go and give a country all this money. In reality, they're just bribing their way into the country and buying the country, kind of thing. So Dan Andrews signed Victoria up for that. Um, at that time, I don't think we'd realize just the level of debt that the Victorian government had taken their state into at that point. I don't think that's true. Now, obviously, you see the mountain of debt that Victoria is in. You see the trouble that they're in, and you realise, well, this is part of the reason why he was trying to do this. So it was all obviously kiboshed by then Prime Minister, Morrison. So anyway, let's check out this article. The true colours of the man. If ever you had a doubt that Dan Andrews, what's his nickname? Everyone liked to call him Old Communist Dan or something, but I mean, rubbing shoulders. He's just not even trying to hide who he really is at this point. So I don't want to add too much of my own commentary. I'm just going to read through this article and point out exactly who else was there. I believe it's very, very telling on the lack of commentary coming from Labor politicians, from our leaders. They're not saying too much, other than I believe former Queensland Premier, Labor Premier, she had to say something about it. But how much has Albanese condemned it? This is the problem with Labor. Labor, Labor are only like a couple of degrees away from being a communist party in all reality. That's why they're like giving everything away. They think they just, print money and reckless, absolutely reckless. So this headline, who else is in Dan Andrews' group? Photo with Xi, Putin, and Kim. This was the most interesting. So this is the group photo that he took after Beijing's military parade raised eyebrows. The issue is it only raised eyebrows. That's all. Oh, wow, look at this. This is unfortunate. This is someone just is not trying to hide who he actually is anymore. Just raised eyebrows. He shouldn't be allowed back in the country. Raised eyebrows in Australia for featuring former Victorian Premier alongside other leaders. How is he still a leader anyway? He's a former. So who else is in the photo? Xi welcomes Putin and other world leaders to China in the pictures. So a number of world leaders gathered in Beijing at a Second World War commemoration parade on Wednesday in a display designed to show off China's military strength and geopolitical might. Yeah, the presence of leaders such as Putin, Xi Jinping, and Kim Jong-un, North Korean dictator, responsible. Those three there, responsible for probably millions of deaths. And Dan Andrews thinks, well, yeah, I'll go and have a little shindig with them. That'll be good. So, yeah, Kim Jong-un at the event has led to some Western political and economic analysts describing it as a meeting of the axis of upheaval. After the parade, Russian State Minister, After the parade, Russian state agency Sputnik released a group photo featuring some expected and unexpected faces. Here's who's who. So hopefully you're watching this on video. Back here in the right-hand corner, actually, let's blow this up. There we go. So over here, right-hand corner, number 21, Dan the man, Dan Andrews. So I believe this is the Indonesian president. Over here, can't remember his name. That's Putin, obviously, Russia. This is Xi Jinping. This is the first lady of China. And this is Kim Jong-un. So just bang, bang, bang. Those three alone responsible for the deaths of countless. Who knows? And Dan Andrews says, you know what? This would be good. Why don't I do that? Dan Andrews, number 21. How? What kind of promises or what deals did he have to make to get invited into this? It just seems that Dan Andrews no longer hides who he actually is, who we've all suspected. A lot of you are sitting there going, Jay, we all knew it, you clown. Yeah, everyone suspected he's actually a communist at heart. That's his belief system. That's his ideology. He is a communist. He obviously doesn't mind being in the same room as dictators, despots, and can you call them murderers, alleged murderers, people who oversee the killing of other people, innocent people? I mean, just look at those three in the front. Putin overseeing the vicious war and overseeing the death, the murder of thousands and thousands and thousands of civilians and soldiers in Ukraine. Xi Jinping, other than all the other things you could say he might be guilty of, what about the Uyghurs? It's funny how no one talks about this Muslim group in the north. I think it's the north of China, the Uyghurs, who are kind of like in this massive open air prison. For all the protesting about all the things going on, no one ever protests about the Uyghurs and the brutality that they undergo. And then you've got little Mister North Korea there. You're never going to know how many people he's been responsible for killing. You're never going to know that because it's got an ironclad grip on North Korea. And Dan Andrews, he's all fine, just sitting up there dandy, loving it, loving life, thinking, yeah, this is exactly where I belong with this group of awesome little leaders. Got a little smirk on his face. He knows he's going to cop some backlash for it, but he doesn't care. He's out and about. He's flying the flag. He is proud, very proud. He is an absolute disgrace and disappointment. Let me know what you think. I'm Jay Fallon.
They just fuel the desire that will take me higher. I'm on fire because nothing's gonna bring me down. Nothing's gonna bring me down. Nothing's gonna stop me now. No deals to be done. No nothing's gonna just focus on the goal. Nothing's gonna stop me now. Nothing's gonna hold me down. said I'm